Reminds me of a bully on the playground who intimidates and denigrates others and imposes his will. I have no problem with anyone wanting to look back on their history and wanting to have others understand it and enjoy it. But if the indigenous people, you're not going to like this, are too lazy and not really very proud or unsure of this heritage, that they have to steal from others to have their day, I'm sorry for them. Why can't they go and petition Congress to have a day all to themselves? Why take it from another group? That makes no sense. What are you going to tell your young people coming up about how you got your day? By taking it from another group? Why? Aren't you proud enough of your heritage to want your own day all to yourselves, not something that you wrote over somebody else? Yes, there have been killings in your past, in every country's history. Is that what we focus on, or do we focus on the future? But it seems that in our PC world today, you want to do away with history. You want to just write it off, and that's what you're doing here. You're doing away with one history to superimpose another one on it, and that's wrong. Why don't you have an Indigenous Peoples Memorial Day, but have it be their day, not take it from another group of people?
Anyone else this evening? Yes, ma'am.
Gail Yeoman, Missoula. I speak in favor, very much in favor, of the Council's resolution to change Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day. I've been adamantly opposed to Columbus Day for many years, since gaining the knowledge of what he did. He was an absolute murderer, exterminator. The story of Columbus has been turned into a happy little myth to please white Americans, never mind the open wounds for Native peoples. UN this week is hosting a conference on historical trauma. In light of that, this seems quite timely. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else this evening? Yes, sir. Come on up.
Oh, sorry about that. That's okay.
My name is Dustin Monroe, longtime citizen and CEO and founder of Educational Change, and also a PhD student here at the University of Montana Medical Anthropology. And this little guy is Dave Monroe. And the reason I come forward, and I'm very passionate about it. I heard the arguments against it. But I would say pass it. I mean, it's really important. I don't want him to have to go to school and have to actually go through that. Majority of people you talk with, Missoula, have many colors, know the genocide that we have lived in. History, I'm studying it right now, is a living. It's not something that's just in the past and that's where we leave it. It's something that continues to perpetuate through the generations. And so this is an important thing to do, and we can write history. We don't always have to accept, and history has been hasn't always been favorable for all, and we have learned from it. And so I think by learning from history, we should change this. And it's not taking from one group, it's just recognizing the truth.
Thank you, Mr. Monroe. Anyone else this evening? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, my name is Kathleen Lilly, and I'm a resident of Missoula. Been here since 2000, and MSW student, just graduated. I am here to speak in favor of Indigenous Peoples Day. I've done a lot of research in regards to history of violence against Indigenous people across North America and have looked at some of the United States Department of Justice statistics, which shows American Indians experienced a per capita rate of violence twice that of the United States resident population. There has been a history of violence against American Indians since Columbus, and thus that violent oppression of the American Indian through the generations with the implementation of laws which were aimed at assimilating the American Indian through mass murder, relocations, isolations, and the tactics used to break the family system, such as the implementation of United States Indigenous boarding schools. Columbus enslaved, murdered, and raped Indigenous people, and when he stumbled across Indigenous in the Western Hemisphere in 1492, it appears the violence has continued against Indigenous people in Western society today. By supporting Columbus Day, the nation does not strengthen the culture of the Native American. It is time for change on a state and national level.